to the channel, hit the like and subscribe button, and thank you for watching. So today what we're going to be discussing is the Xbox xCloud cloud gaming, and this is in beta, but now it's enabled on iOS devices. So if you have Safari, you can connect to it and do some online gaming. As you can see, xCloud is in beta status, so you do have to log in with your Xbox ID. Once you do that, you'll be greeted by this site here, and I believe you also have to have some of the other components, as in the Game Pass and Xbox Live, to be able to play some of these games. But once you go to the website, you'll be prompted to add it to your home screen as a shortcut, and you'll see this app logo looking icon. And then once you click on it, they'll have you sign in, and once you sign in, you'll be able to see some of the games. You see the Game Pass section, and at this time they are very limited with what games are compatible, and you will have to buy a controller to be able to play with some of these games. So these are all the games that are available during this time. There might be more coming down the road, but this is about it. And I'll do a quick search and just show you that some of the other games that people were hoping maybe to play, for instance, Fortnite or FIFA or something like that, those are not in this library. So like I said, very limited at this moment, but there are some things that you might like. Some games do require controllers and some are touch based, and you do have that option as well. As you can see right here, we're just going to be doing a generic search just to see what there is, and searching for Fortnite, there is not much to be found, but there are games that are action based, so if you do like some of these games, might be beneficial. Again, you are able to play this through the Safari browser, so you don't have to have a specific app. That was discontinued due to the options from the App Store and how it went through. At one point I did have a video on how you can actually get into the beta software testing through TestFlight, but that has been eliminated at this point, and it's only through Safari. So as you can see, this game in particular does give you what is required to be able to play it. It does require a controller. Now, a controller that I did try and in the video and did not work is a PlayStation 5 controller. So either you have to have a Microsoft controller, or you have to use a different type of Bluetooth controller, maybe a SteelSeries or one of the devices that they came where it creates it more as a handheld. So do be aware that not every controller at this point works, even though there are Bluetooth controllers. So if you have a PlayStation and you're just hoping that you can use that, for instance, some people have an Xbox One, the original console, and those are not Bluetooth compatible. So you do have a version of the Xbox One to have a Bluetooth controller. Otherwise, you'll have to go out and buy a compatible controller. So here you go. When you start the game, it does play it in portrait mode, but then it will transition into landscape mode once the whole game does start and go through the process. And you'll see it right here. It's trying to load the game, and it's just kind of to show you how fast the process is. And here we go, the game is loading, and what kind of quality you can expect. The quality, it looks fairly good. There are some stutters here and there, as you can see, but again, it is in beta mode at this time, so it should get better, and it will vary on your internet connection as well. So if you have a faster internet with a better upload and download, your experience should be better, as well as better latency. So be aware and mindful of that. As I get into this game, it's going through its loading screen. I was not able to play it just because the controller that I have currently connected to the iPhone Pro 12 Max is not compatible, because it's a PlayStation 5 controller, and I did not have any other controllers with me at the moment. So it'll be interesting to test it with one of the compatible controllers and to see if the experience itself is fully valid. Some people might just use the PlayStation Remote Play to be able to play some of their games through Wi-Fi internet to their PlayStation consoles. So that might be a better alternative for some users, depending on which games Microsoft provides through the xCloud gaming. But as you can see, the loading, the selecting, so this is where I will get stuck just because I don't have a compatible controller. So if you do have, your experience might be different. Pairing is fairly easy, so just pair it to Bluetooth and you'll be able to connect and game. I am doing all of this on Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi connection is fairly stable and it is a decent upload and download speed. It's more than 200 megabytes per second, so the experience should be a little bit better, but there are some stutters here and there. And as we continue, there are games that you can play with just your touchscreen. My experience at the moment was not the best, and this could do with the part that I am using the iOS 15 beta on an iPhone 12 Pro Max, and that could be causing an issue with how it's interacting. But I did test it, and you'll see in a moment. Once the loading screen comes up, the game will load, and the controls come up on screen. As you can see how they're presented, and they're color coded, so you should be able to just pick up and understand where to press and what to do. It's not too bad. So right here, as you can see, the game and the controller movement, just like your other standard games that are touch based, the controls pop up on the screen. Now the part that I said had issues with is, for some reason, it did not fully work the way I intended it to, or that Xbox intends to do. So I think it's in part due to maybe the beta software, maybe some things that Apple has in place, or it could be even the beta that xCloud is in. So there might be more work behind the scenes with new updates, but you won't have to worry about those updates since they would be on the back end, and since it's not an app, you won't be seeing them or going to the App Store to update it. So here we go, just scrolling down. You have to go individually through every piece just to accept it, and keep going down. So just your privacy policy, and once we get through this whole piece, there'll be the section where you can select and start playing the game. And this is just for testing purposes, so you guys can see and experience exactly what to look for. And here we go, the game. You can sign in. I'll skip that. If you have an account, you go ahead and sign in. Gives you video options, and then here you have some more options, selecting the nation, region, select your car number, and this is just your standard part of the game. Once we get into the game, that's when you'll see that the experience, for me at least, wasn't the best at this time. So here we go, it's still kind of processing and loading, and here everything is working fairly well. You're able to click the buttons. I feel like the mapping is pretty good. It could always be better, but at the moment it does its job. And here we go, get ready. Some stuttering right there, but then when the game starts, it's all good. It's going. The graphics themselves look good, but the problem is with the driving. So as you can see, you're trying to drive, and for some reason steering and driving at the same time did not want to work, where it just did not want to select both the items at the same time. So it was just not responding properly, and this is where I got stuck and did not have the best of experience. But it could be due to the beta software. So here we go, it's trying to drive forward but just not having any luck. Again, how is the experience? Is this something that I would recommend? If you have Xbox Live or Xbox Game Pass, I would recommend you go ahead and try it, maybe on a bigger device. And if you have a better controller where you can connect it and use a controller, that might be a better experience for you. So it's worth trying and just seeing if there are any games that you like to play on the go. So it could be beneficial. Hopefully you guys like this video. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and thank you for watching.